Hey, what it do, baby? What's up, y'all? I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody's safe, and I hope everybody is great. It's the boy Shady, as usual. You already know what it is. I'm super excited to be making this video, guys, because I thought this was a video I was never gonna make because I thought I was not gonna develop film. Developing film is not as hard as it seems. Take it from me. You guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I like simple things, and I like how simple everything. I just like developing film could be very, very intimidating, but I ended up doing it and I ended up loving it. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the tips and tricks that I've learned up to date, because I'm still a beginner developer. So I think this is the perfect time, because all the little things I've learned are genuine and they're real and true, and they're actually dumbed down because I'm actually going through them right now. These are not in any order, and these are not like mind-blowing things, but these are little things that will make your process so much easier if you're a beginner, and it will make it less stressful. And I wish a video like this existed when I first started, because they always touched on the big picture, but this video will touch on the little things. I'm just gonna go sporadically and just name them all, okay? So there's a lot of them. First tip, have a dark bag. A dark bag is very important because you don't need to close your door, and everywhere is a dark place when you have a dark bag, okay? It makes everything easier. If you're out on the street and your film snaps, you could use a dark bag. A dark bag will come in handy because you just pop the film in there and you get it done. And this also prepares you for your developing process. It will get it done. So second tip, when you are using your dark bag, actually, guys, you could lay your Pattison tank up. When you're using your dark bag, it's such a flat surface, it will cramp down and your hands will feel like they're cramped and you're not able to do it. This is a lot of space for you to play with when you actually lay your Pattison tank up. Okay, so that really will help. Really cool trick that I actually learned. There's actually information at the back of your black and white film. Every black and white film needs to be processed differently and for different times. Usually you need to make a search to try to get this information. If you buy it with the box, there's information at the back and all the formulas and all the different developing kits that you could actually buy. Really cool trick. I didn't know this. This actually helps such a big ton, and you could actually write this down and note it down when you find the information. Next tip, have a notebook. Write down all the stuff that you're learning, my friend. Do not want to be cross-referencing with your phone, because when you cross-reference with your phone, that is also your timer. I don't know about you guys. I don't have a random timer just chilling in my crib, you know what I'm saying? This is like 2021, bro. My phone is a goddamn timer. This will stop you from having to switch back and forth with your phone, trying to develop at the same time. Less stress. Get yourself a notebook, write down all the formulas and write down all the processes. This will make it a lot easier. Trust me. I hate notebooks and I hate writing things, but it will make it a lot easier for you. So another cool tip, if you want to know how many liters your Pattison tank is, because I didn't even know this, so I'm guessing a lot of people don't know this as well. It's at the bottom actually of your Pattison tank. You need to know that because when you're mixing your chemicals, you need to know what you're mixing for, because some tanks are longer and they might require more chemicals. There you go, I just saved your life. Next tip, guys, with the film reels, when you're loading your film in the dark, it's very hard to know where the entry point is, where you're supposed to put your film in, because there's two ridges that are pretty much the same. One is bigger, one is smaller, but what would make it a lot easier? When you're in the dark, you have your eyes closed. You could just have your reel here and you could just fill from the inside. So from the inside here, there's a little notch where the ball is. That's how you know where the entry point is. That is the side you're supposed to put your film in. The other side doesn't have that little notch. That's how you could see in the dark. Easy peasy. Okay, so here's another cool trick that is really helpful, but so small. This is such a small little thing, but it will help you out a ton. So when you're pouring your chemicals, tilt your Pattison tank. This will help the water flow a lot easier to the bottom of the tank. When you don't do that and you do it from the top, it will build up on top and it will start splashing everywhere and you get chemicals everywhere. This will make your whole process a lot easier and less messy. Okay, so this tip is very, very helpful because I didn't even know how helpful this thing was until I got it. Buy a damn bucket. You need a bucket. Trust me, a bucket is very, very important. This will make your whole process easier. When you're warming up your chemicals, you don't waste water. Put them in a bucket, you just pour hot water in there and it will keep everything in one place, and it will keep it all compact and you don't have to waste water. And another cool thing about the bucket is when you're drying all your stuff after you're done developing, it makes it easier. Less things are everywhere. It makes everything very, very organized and simple. Let's say you're drying it, you have to put it upside down so that the water will all drain out of the tank. You could all have it in a bucket. There you go. Water does not drip anywhere to ruin your floors or ruin wherever you are putting your drying stuff, right? Here's another small tip, guys. Boil water when you're actually warming up your chemicals. Warming up process when you do it over the sink, it is long. Sink water is not as hot as boiled water. Trust me, you don't want to be spending the 50 minutes, 20 minutes just waiting for your chemicals to actually heat up. You want to make sure your chemicals are ready when you're setting up everything. And on that note, I'm going to share something really, really cool. The process, guys, is that I suggest you actually try to heat up your chemicals first and then setting up everything else after, because while you're setting everything up, your chemicals will be getting warm and ready for developing. Next tip, guys, I don't know if this actually hurts my chemicals, but I usually like putting all the chemicals, pouring them out of the bottles and putting them in here while heating. So this makes the heating process a lot faster, because I don't know what it is. It just makes it a lot faster and it makes the whole process faster. I don't know if this affects my chemicals, but like I said, I'm a beginner. I don't know if it affects it, because I know a lot of these chemicals are oxygen based. That's why they need to be in amber bottles. So I don't know if me pouring them in here for 10 minutes for my chemicals to heat up is going to affect the chemicals. If you do know that, comment down below, let me know, and I'd love to learn from you as well. So another really small cool trick, guys, is that when you're actually setting your timer, a lot of people that use their phones, you can actually use your voice commands. This makes it a lot easier and less stressful, because when your film is developing, the development does not stop until you add the stop at, okay? It's not gonna just miraculously stop. And if you're on your phone saying, oh my god, I need to set 6 minutes and 30 seconds on your developing, your film is still developing and you want to make this process seamless. A really cool trick is to use your voice command. You'd be like, hey Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes and 30 seconds while you're pouring out.
Your timer is set for 3 minutes.
Done. And then when your timer is up, you could just tell Siri, hey Siri, stop the timer while you're actually pouring it out. And then you say, hey Siri, start another timer for 6 minutes and da 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 da. But you see how it's easy. I don't have to worry about the timer or having to enter those numbers. That will make the process easier. Again, these are little things that will make the whole process easy. Another really cool thing when developing, guys, this is not really a trick. Use PhotoFlow when you're done developing. This helps a lot. When you're drying your film, you won't get watermarks on your film. And you know how annoying watermarks can be, fam. Them things, family, me not run with no watermarks, fam. Me not run with no watermarks. This stops your film from having watermarks. Thank me later. Have a developing rug. This is very important, because when you're developing, a lot of these chemicals do need a lot of oxygen. So when you pop your thing open, some chemicals will fly out. You don't want it to fly out on your floors, because it's gonna stain your floors, or on your table. It's gonna stain your table. This is a good way when you have your own rug where you could mess up and you could just do whatever you want. And when you're agitating, sometimes these lids, they're not really well sealed. You want to make sure when you have your rug, it will spill on the rug and not on your floor or your table. Thank me later again. Another really cool trick, this one helped me out a lot. When you're drying your film, add a peg at the bottom of your film. So you do it from the top and the bottom. This will help stretch out your film when it's drying, so that it could go straight to scanning and you don't have to wait for it to straighten out and flatten out. This will help a lot. Last but not least, when you're using your reels, I've always wanted to know this. For some reason, a lot of videos did not tell me or dumb this down in a way that I understand. When you're actually trying to unlock your reels, bringing them from 35 to 120, right? You need to do that. How do you do it? So when unlocking, you want to make sure your left hand pulls towards you and your right hand pulls forward. So you do it like this and you hear squeaking. To lock, it's the opposite. You want your left hand going forward and your right hand going backwards, and that locks. When you're actually switching it to 120, it is the last ridge. As you can see on the sides, there's actual ridges where the twisting happens. It's always on the last ridge. That is the 120 ridge. 120, it's on the last ridge. 35 is all the way in, and then you do the twisting and the locking. But that's pretty much that for those tips. I know these tips are very small, guys, but they did help me like a lot. They made the whole process so much easier, and I wish I learned this as opposed to learn in the process, and I hope this really does help. And if it did help, and if you learned something, comment down below and let me know. If this didn't help, comment down below and let me know as well. But I really do think these tips will make all the difference if you're a beginner film developer. That's what you're gonna be called, a beginner film developer. Either way, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and like this video if you like this video. Thank you guys again. Road to 10K, we're still on it. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Thank you guys again for tuning in. It's the boy Shingy as usual. Hope this video helped. Peace.